Well done, Ron. Well done.
Which is why I joined.
So, I checked everything. I would just like to point out for everybody, oh my god. Guys, so I just like to chat. Hello, hi chat. Hello, hi. I would just like to apologetically inform you guys that the stream started 5 minutes ago for us. I forgot to hit the go live button.
Echo is coming. Your echoes. Wait, you can
Somebody
hear your
is
echo.
echoing.
Somebody, not me.
It's Rohan
Are you
only.
on speakers? Me? No, I'm on headphones. How?
Might be your phone or something.
No, there's nothing. Now, are you still echoing? Am I still echoing?
No.
Yeah, but basically we've already discussed the entire race, and then Rohan says कि अरे हम लोग live नहीं है. It is actually quite poetic when you think about how the last race started, where the race actually started, but nobody got to see any footage of what happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of what happened right here.
Yeah, I pulled a Max Boomer move, guys. I did. Alright, I'm sorry. My stream is handled by the same guys who handle Ferrari's pits.
Strategy. I was just going to say, you're dressed in red also.
I'm sorry, guys. It was always going to happen. It was always going to happen. But the larger point I was making is that at last week, in the last episode, I said that I don't think we should expect a race as dramatic as last year's race because, and I quote, Max and Lewis are not really racing for the same thing. Turns out, and I'm going to look directly in camera and say this, I'm a dumb fuck. And I don't know anything. And I should listen more and speak less. And with
you got one of those things right. You got one of those things right in that Max and Lewis weren't really fighting each other.
Yeah.
They were not. Their race was two different races.
Yeah, they were completely swapped. It's like Verstappen having to fight for 7th or 8th. It was.
So you got that part right, but like the main part. Like
and also for everyone that's always said, oh, Lewis is cribbing, Lewis keeps cribbing on the radio. I just want to like recap that and what we saw with Red Bull and Max, going down.
But what do you expect him to do apart from crib when his car does not work?
Oh, you're still gonna defend. You're still gonna defend him. Wow.
What are you supposed to defend over here?
No, as in I mean people.
His position against Mick Schumacher, guys.
Position to chodo, but
as in
the crazy thing is this is like watching two parents fight because you both clearly love the child in this scenario.
No, the thing is that I was very happy to watch Hamilton winning. I would have been happy if he won the race also. But aisa ye faltu ka hate why? I don't understand.
No, not hate. I'm saying that people always point out that they call Lewis a crybaby, not just y'all. I'm saying in general.
Not
like
just
people
y'all.
say.
But what was crybaby? I mean, what is unjustifiable about the crybaby of Max?
But there's nothing.
So
I'm saying when Lewis. But when Lewis does the same, when his car's not working well, people are like, oh, he was in a great car and that's the only time he can win and so on and so forth. Whereas when the tables have turned here, it's the exact same situation.
Is the table
Arjun,
turning?
is it
I don't
just
understand.
me or much like the Silverstone race, like this is not how I saw today's discussion going
at
all. This was not even slightly how I saw today go.
I am very confused about the parallel being drawn.
Team Cherry, he's nodding his head, okay?
My understanding of the issue, if I've gotten this wrong, Arjun,
please explain to me because I am not understanding.
An international observer on this podcast that is spiraling hard. To just bring it back to the racing line, I'd like to say that what has happened here is Sherry thinks that a lot of people, for some reason also us, accuse Lewis of being a crybaby when things aren't going right. Alright? She's not saying that he is. You are also saying that he is not because the car does not work. So fundamentally, mom, dad, you all are saying the same thing. And I feel like we need to focus on bigger issues right now. I'm going to take an executive decision and just say, what was
I think those bigger issues were
race?
Super Chat.
Yes, Super Chat.
Yeah,
Super Chat.
We will come to those, but what was that race?
Mazedar
Friends,
ekdam.
what was that race? Thoughts?
Blockbuster.
Just from the start, I think qualifying was just madness. Free practice was madness. Valtteri Bottas number 1 for no reason.
Amazing.
In free practice 1. And
we
that
thought
was
we
such
needed a
throwback,
sprint
yeah.
race. You know, like, I mean, we thought we needed a sprint
We
race.
got
to
the
shake
sprint
things
race.
up.
You got a
Yeah,
sprint
we got
race.
the
What are you
sprint
talking
race
about?
at
You
the
got a
end
sprint
also,
race.
you know. So, like, I mean, it was classic F1.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, very, very good racing.
Yeah. Can
Throughout,
we just
blockbuster.
start? Yeah. Can we start with quali? And I want to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Nicholas Latifi.
Latifi. Yes, please.
Who
Yes, please.
was like, if not
Let's
16,
go.
I will do multiples of it. I will go
Yeah.
8th
Yeah.
into Q2, and then after making it into Q3, he's like, guys,
हो गया
what
था.
is pace? What is driving? He put his first lap 42 seconds off the pace. You thought that was no, he has to improve. He did improve. So next lap 21 seconds off the pace.
Look, man, I'm just saying.
I
I'm
went
just
around
saying.
waving कि, guys देखो मैं आ गया हूँ. Guys, can you see me? That's what he
Azeem,
was
Nicholas Latifi does not get to Q3. It's like, okay, let me put it this way, alright? If your whole life someone's told you about America, okay? Like you've never been, but your whole life someone's told you about America, alright? And then finally, at like the age of 40, you get to go, alright? When you're in America, your first job is not going to be laser focused. You're going to be like, I'm going to get a couple of cheeseburgers with me. Just look at the tall buildings. And that's basically, he's just like, oh.
Yeah.
This is what I feel like. See, whatever happens now, Max and I finish at the same time, right? Like
Yeah.
in the next 10 minutes. So he did the best life Bottas thing and just enjoyed himself there.
Yeah. Yeah, and got himself in there, got into the position where the first start I felt was for him because he had nicely got off the line and he's got up to 6th place. That's unheard of.
Fully.
He needed a separate oxygen tank. Itna high kabhi gaya nahi hai life mein, dude. And suddenly had to get it back.
You know,
Wait,
actually,
people are saying
this
stream
was-
is gone.
What?
Oh no.
Lag, stream gone. Lag, F, rip.
Arey,
Why like
yeah.
this? Streaming from here.
I think it's a refresh. Refresh is required.
Refresh of YouTube.
Turn it
I
off
mean,
and
not
turn
for
it on
you,
again.
for people in the chat.
Are you getting the stream?
I is not seeing.
I am looking at the stream right now, and it's kind of like a stop motion music video.
Saying YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Why OBS? Why you like
This
this?
sometimes is just a OBS.
There's a back,
or
guys.
So should I
Refresh,
just
it's
stop
fine now.
streaming and start streaming?
Okay, it's fine, I think.
It's fine?
Don't
it's
do the
fine.
stop in this thing. It's
I
fine.
can watch it on my phone. It's fine.
Oh, you're watching on your
Yeah.
phone, it's fine? Okay, so let's assume
Yeah.
that it is fine.
Yeah.
Friend, refresh and say, is it back? Now it's perfect. Okay, back.
Got it.
Okay,
Yes.
this is our third restart. Now I will take a chance to do the super chats very quickly.
Yes.
Abhishek Verma says, finally it happens for the smooth operator. Mick at least gets his first points after so much bad luck. Thank God for the halo after what happened to Joe. Can't be more thankful to George, says Valtteri Bottas, for the humanity he showed when he ran over to help my bacha Zoe. After this, he can take my car whenever he wants, provided the team can actually keep it running. Oxford Dictionary of English says, new word to be added for July 2022. Leclerc, verb, the exact opposite of whatever plot armor is. In spite of Charles' insane racecraft Ferrari, Leclerc his race by not pitting him on the softs. I heard your prayers.
That's a great
Hastigadi
verb.
tried to give him a good quali, but looks like third time's the charm, say the racing gods. अभी मुझे भागना है. कोई सोनोडा नाम का बच्चा बुला रहा है मुझे. Very nice. Pranav says, why Lek and Carlos were allowed to fight? What the fuck was that? IQ 100 move of not pitting Leclerc. Zero learnings from Abu Dhabi. There's no one who can match Checo's strategy. Papa Perez says, क्या बताऊं बच्चों, चीको की तूफानी ड्राइव और मेरे मेले में खोए बेटे टॉमी को मिलने की इतनी खुशी थी कि मैंने लुइस के पापा को पप्पी दे दी, पर इसके बाद जाने क्यों टॉमी वापस गायब हो गया. टॉमी बेटा.
Oh my god.
Oh, this stream has jumped so many rails right now.
Wow.
Like,
Papa Perez.
That was a ride. I don't even know where I've been for the last 3
Amazing.
minutes, guys. What have I just been doing for the last 180 seconds?
Yeah, I think you read that and Alfred just retracted his message of 20 rupees saying,
He's
I
like-
cannot match this.
I can't follow Papa Perez. You know? That's too
But,
much pressure. Yeah.
So okay, Nicholas Latifi, yes, crazy qualifying.
One point on Nicholas Latifi. I just feel like, I mean, while we are celebrating his amazing.
It's saying
health-
lag again.
Oh, is it? Oh my days.
Lag.
I think Latifi is the problem. I think we're praising Latifi.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, every time you
God's
talk
had a
about
problem.
Latifi, there's a lag. Stop.
Should I stop and start the stream from OBS end?
You're saying Latifi is creating red flags over here also.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. Okay, lag is back. Refresh, it's fine, people are saying. But why does it keep happening? Fixed, it's back again. Back. Okay,
Yes.
okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's just
Arjun,
YouTube
we'll
issues.
allow
It's just
you
YouTube issues,
one
guys. There's nothing we can do.
Latifi line.
Tiny point, one tiny
Yeah,
point.
okay.
about
Tiny
Latifi.
point and move on.
Yeah, one tiny point and move on, please.
One tiny point about Latifi. Alex Albon, actually, coming into Silverstone, got a whole bunch of upgrades to his car.
Yes.
Latifi was actually
Right.
driving an old car. And the unfortunate part of the situation is that Latifi was anyway not going to get these upgrades till the French Grand Prix. Okay, which is like 3 weeks from now. Which, as the second driver, anyway, you must be feeling so much shit. And then you make it into Q3 and everything. Then your teammate is one of the people who causes the red flag at the start, which means that his upgrades are going to be delayed even post for the French Grand Prix. So the poor part of this whole situation is like Latifi, regardless of what he's doing right now, is unable to make an impact beyond into the walls.
But guys, I would like to say Latifi has finally made his way up the championship table with that finish and finally got himself visible in the first 2 slides of the table. So now only Nico Hülkenberg is left alone on 21st. Also the only driver yet to score a point now that Mick has got his points.
I mean,
But
so
yeah.
many talking points. Rohan.
Yes. Multiple
that.
talking points. This was such a thrilling race that I rewatched the race because
The
I
whole
was
thing.
like from lap 25
Yeah.
to lap 52 has been
It's
rewatched.
well worth a rewatch.
I have no idea where the time went, and I tried to write down talking points just because of how relentless it was. So I'm going to try getting through them, but unfortunately, they are not very coherent. So let's just go through them one by one so we can get some sort of chronological this thing on this race, okay? First things first that I have written down is because this is I feel like a lot of the stream is just going to be a detailed autopsy of what went down at Ferrari. With a quick refreshing pit stop and everything that happened for place 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 at the end of the race. But 25th lap, Leclerc has this broken front wing and is still somehow gunning it. And what is Ferrari doing at this point? All right, lap 29 comes in. This guy is on this broken front wing and now he's fighting Sainz. Right now there's a lap or two where he's like, is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? There's this undercut window for Hamilton, which is happening on the side drama also. All of this is going on. Now lap 31, finally they swap. Right? After about 2 to 3 laps of dawdling. Now they've got Hamilton's pit window also. Here is where we talk about that first thing. Should that swap have just been immediate? Because, okay, here's where this conversation is going to go, right? Team orders versus Carlos getting his first win.
Yeah.
Where are we on this?
I mean, see, the thing is, from the point of view of being fair to both drivers, I think they made the right call in terms of saying that, you know what, Carlos, this is the time strategy wise that we think you need to be hitting, whatever the time was, 132.9 or whatever that time was.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, give me a lap, and then he hit that time. So then they told Leclerc, okay, listen, he's doing the time that we needed. And then Leclerc is like, okay, I still don't think this is fast enough. Where again, he was right. So again, the two drivers are sort of doing what is required of them. That the drivers are seeming, for the most part, smarter than the engineers who were sitting in the garage over there.
And lost Sainz particularly,
Yeah. And we saw that day with Sainz in Monaco as well, right? Where he was the guy who was like, no, I think this is the right strategy. This is what we're going to do.
But just like Monaco, Ferrari.
Got it wrong again and ended up screwing Leclerc again, which is very stupid. So, yeah, in hindsight, it's easier to say that they should have passed each other and all of that. But I don't think they were holding each other up that much, considering the fact that they were within half a second of each other and the fact that Sainz was pulling Leclerc along with that DRS. I think it was more or less fine. And then later on, that entire realization that, Sainz is also low on fuel now and then was saved by the safety car for all of that. So, very strange decisions made all around, you have to say. But I would say, as in terms of the switch around, I think they did it at sort of just about the right time.
Yeah. I think Sainz in general showed a lot of IQ during this race, even though he seemed a little bit greedy in that time that Rohan was sort of describing, lap 25 to 31
Yeah.
and stuff. He seemed like a little bit like, guys, just let me do this. This is my first
So
race.
you're
This
a
is- I'm
race
so
driver.
desperate.
That's your instinct,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Whatever
to
else
just
might
be
be
in
your
the front.
instinct.
Yeah.
You're where you're there because all your life you've chased winning,
And
like being first.
For
Yeah.
him, it's 150 races.
150 races,
Yeah.
right? Come
That
on.
is second highest of all time to like the first to get a first race win. And like, I mean, so from that standpoint, while it did seem a little this thing, I tend to agree with Azeem that also he was like, and I'm sure Aditya Bhat in Telemetry will tell us more about some of those shenanigans in the middle. But basically, I mean, Sainz did a really good job. Ferrari was kind of making it, they were channeling Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was there in the paddock. They were channeling little Tom Cruise for Sainz. They were like, Mission Impossible, abhi tu
But if there's one person who can't complain about occasionally being favored by a restart,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's Max Verstappen,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
So he channeled his own inner Tom Cruise. in a
Wait.
Mission
Again,
Impossible
frizz
situation.
has happened again, it seems.
Frizz,
God.
more frizz, stopped again, frizz again.
Yellow flag, slow mode, yellow flag. Double waved yellows.
Why
Is this a
happening?
connection issue or something?
No, if our Zoom is working well, then I don't
Yeah.
know.
Zoom is
Yeah,
working
actually,
fine, right?
yeah.
It should be a YouTube
I think it's a
issue.
YouTube issue.
Or is your bitrate very high? You can try reducing the bitrate in OBS.
1 second. Video bitrate.
What is it at? Okay, now it's back.
2500.
Playing fine
Then though it's fine
playing
only. It should be
guys.
fine only.
It should be fine, right? It's 2500
Yeah,
kbps.
it's playing fine.
What the hell?
Yeah, just
guys,
thoda bahut,
thoda
adjust,
bahut,
guys.
adjust, guys. Yes, this seems to be some YouTube issue today because bitrate is fine, Zoom is running fine.
Yeah. Also,
This-
monsoon issues in general. So these things
Monsoon
happen.
issues, correct. YouTube,
Climate change. Climate
climate change, guys. Climate change.
Yeah,
Climate change
guys.
affecting our stream. Very sorry. Very, very sorry. So yeah. Okay. So yes, you were saying science, IQ.
Science, high IQ, channeling inner Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, Ferrari, strategist situation.
Do you think
And,
they were playing the audio also in his this thing?
in the stream also?
Like-
Yeah. Dude, yeah. He has to make it.
Dude, कल announce हो जाएगा. Tom Cruise in and as Carlos Sainz.
And he'll be fucking amazing.
Oh, he'll be
Sure,
outstanding,
you know,
dude.
fucking
He'll be faster than
outstanding.
Carlos Sainz. मैं पैसा दे रहा.
And you can be guaranteed he would have learned how to drive an F1 car.
Oh,
He would have done
100%.
the whole freaking
Anyway.
And he's smaller, so he'll less weight.
Yeah, and the whole world thought he looks like Checo. So I mean, anyways, I think it's like
Yeah, listen. Checo looks a little bit, right? Like if you took Tom Cruise and you left him like overnight in water, you get little Checo. Like it happens. Yeah.
But also, why? What is? So I get that Tom Cruise is Hollywood star and Mission Impossible and all of that. But what is his qualification to be sitting and having serious discussions about race restart with Stefano Domenicali? Like,
Yeah.
why is he part of this discussion? Like, what is his expertise here?
Okay.
Apart from being Tom Cruise.
Dude,
As a
he has
counter
been in
question to you.
dicey.
Yeah, okay, as a counter question to you. Okay. Say you are Stefano Domenicali, alright? And you are having a conversation with somebody. And Tom Cruise comes and stands there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Tom Cruise comes and stands there.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's gonna be the asshole that says, "Excuse me, Tom Cruise, can you please fuck off from here?"
हाँ थोड़ा काम चल रहा है ना Tom Cruise ऐसा
Tom Cruise doesn't care. So
I'd be like, Tom, how do you think we should handle this situation? Full safety car restart or no? Like, you know,
and it's like
you have
the
10
safety
you have
car
10
should
seconds to
ideally be
decide.
dangling from a helicopter. That's what he'll say.
No, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, everybody knows that Tom Cruise does not need safety car. Tom Cruise run in front of F1 car and keep motorcade. Tom Cruise need no
Yeah.
car. Alright? Tom Cruise either run or plane. No other steps to Tom Cruise.
Providing valuable strategy also to Toto Wolff. He was standing right there in the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Whereas Keanu Reeves, another,
Yes.
competing action star,
Yes.
was out there on the track during qualifying and things like that. My God. Like, I mean, it was blockbuster throughout. You had
Oh,
the
yeah,
biggest Hollywood celebrities, all this crazy action on track. Ferrari kind of shoot themselves in the ass again. Too good.
They did
Just
shoot
another
themselves in the
high-profile
ass.
Did
race.
you guys feel like they did favor Sainz? I did feel like they were favoring Sainz for the I mean, obviously because he had you know, like this shot at his first win and whatever. I do feel like they went out of their way also to kind of try their best to make him get it. Um,
Yeah.
like in the race, which is why I feel like a lot of the strategy is questionable, where you're like, okay, this doesn't really make sense, or we don't really have the right answer for this. But I just feel like it was maybe one of those situations where they felt as a team that this win is obviously going to give him that boost to then, go much further, which Leclerc doesn't need anyways. He's already got that drive, he's already got that hunger. And, of course, that whole angle of move over for Leclerc has happened a lot, right? Like, we've seen it a lot. So I felt like maybe they felt like, let's not do that today, or let's push it as much as we can to give him this fair shot. Because if we don't, it'll be like, what's the point of me being here? Kind of, like I felt
But it was
that.
kind of, totally, but kind of was put across in this way that we still favor Leclerc, but we should know but we want the world to know we're trying to give you a shot. Of course, I also think like with Leclerc up in the points and things like that, Ferrari is always like traditionally as well, like just sort of favored the driver that's always sort of leading in terms of the championship and everything. And this time around, I think, it was a slightly trickier situation and stuff.
Which is why I
yeah.
think even Leclerc couldn't believe it on the radio a lot of the times. He was like, what else do I need to do? I'm not understanding like why I'm still here, like in that sense. But I think also because it was his first win, I think they were obviously really gunning and pushing for him, because it wasn't just a win, it was like the first iconic one.
Do you also think that point in the safety car at which sort of Sainz managed to get that just beautiful pit stop was also really just his race through bringing their A game because I mean, okay, fine, he did have an extra.
I mean, they should have brought Leclerc in as well. Like,
they should have got both in.
They should have brought both in.
Or they should have
so that was
bad.
This is one of the reasons why I felt like maybe there was a deliberate attempt to make him kind of.
I mean, that I think I would chalk it down to general Ferrari strategy fuck-allness, which is just like, we'll get it right for at least 50% of the drivers, We still won the race.
Basically, Ferrari did what Mercedes did in Abu Dhabi last year. They kept the driver out, hoping for track position when they should have just pitted him.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think it's still like, I mean, if you look at it, I was reading an interesting stat. Last 5 races, Mercedes has outscored Ferrari. This is how poor their strategy has been. Like, I mean, gosh, this team, like, they seem to be on the pace. I mean, though I still think that it would have been close with Max if Max's car had not, like, this thing on, like, maybe an overcut situation in the second restart. But they looked good throughout. And, I mean,
I think
they just seem to find a way somehow to like shoot themselves in the ass.
2 things to what you said. One is that like now that as you say that, it also tells you that Max Verstappen is such a dominant driver that all you have to do is take him out of the equation to suddenly make the field thrilling and exciting and everybody sort of scrambling to potentially be number 1, as opposed to when he's on the pace, it's just a done deal and a foregone conclusion, and then everybody else is sort of having this battle behind.
Sherry might recall another driver with whom like this seemed to be.
I saw about like 8-9 years of that happening.
Seemed to be a recurring situation. I think Sherry, you might know this guy.
I wonder who.
Nico Rosberg, right?
Nico
Are you talking about world champion Nico Rosberg who beat Lewis in identical machinery?
That Nico Rosberg, yes.
Not that Nico
Exploding
Rosberg.
Nico Rosberg.
But which brings me to that stat actually, Arjun, and you're saying, which is what you're saying, that Mercedes today, whatever design shortcomings they've had in their car this year, whatever all of that, they still clearly bring this strategic thunder that they're like all their failures they're patching over with as best as they can. I feel like strategically.
And poor Russell also got just unlucky this race. But otherwise, like, I mean, we're pretty sure that Russell would have been in the top 5, right? Again, like
Yeah.
if whatever he wasn't this good Samaritan, like
Yeah.
guy or whatever, you know. I mean, so yeah, I mean, Mercedes has been really, even with this deficient machinery,
Yeah.
been really bringing it together every weekend.
I think the only foot they really put wrong, like this week, was that I think as in the race at least, was they gave Lewis that 4.5 second pit stop.
Yeah, the pit
that
stop
sort of
I think
little
was
bit
wasn't
this
what
thing.
messed up this.
But
Yeah, the pit stop was really messed up.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, the pit stop, like if that pit stop had been on time and Lewis had been just 1 or 2 seconds behind, and then you had not pitted Leclerc, I would understand it.
Yeah.
But you had the gap back.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
even more bizarre that they wouldn't do it. It was very stupid.
But man, I mean, you know, we talked about Max's dominance and like how it looked really great for him. This big. Did you guys see the?
man, thrilling
Not
stuff.
for the
Both of
first time. So
Not
every
that.
time I've noticed that Verstappen has a broken car, he somehow has a battle
People are
with
saying
Mick
lag
Schumacher.
again.
Mick
People are saying
Schumacher,
lag
yeah.
again. Why now?
Saw it in
No,
Hungary
no.
last year. It's
Wait,
okay.
lag
It'll
it.
fix
just-
itself.
It'll
guys.
fix itself, basically.
It'll fix itself, guys. Yellow
That
flag,
is-
yellow lag.
Yes. Yellow flag. It has fixed itself somewhat.
But guys, what a fab drive by Checo. I mean, like
Yeah.
nobody saw
That
that.
is
First one off the
exactly
field, yeah.
17th to second.
Yeah.
Like
That
I
is
was like, where
heroic.
did he come from? Like what's going on?
So again,
I told
that's
you on our
something-
group as well. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like Hamilton. I was like, wait for Checo because he's just that is his thing. Like if he has an incident in the first 2 laps, he is the guy you can trust that he will keep driving forever until a safety car comes out.
Yeah.
Like you know that he has that in him, and that's exactly what he did.
It was
So,
beautiful
great
watching from
job
that
for him.
25th lap onward. It's like it was like a separate like game, like a mini game
Yeah.
on the leaderboard where you just look over every 5 minutes and Checo's no longer where he was. And then you
Yeah.
look over 5 minutes later and suddenly it's just another 2 spots up. And you look over 5 minutes and it's like, oh shit, look at where he is now. And it was great driving, just genuinely solid racing.
Yeah.
And the getting the elbows out with both Leclerc and
Yeah.
Lewis, like
Yeah.
that's something you would not traditionally, like you've only seen him go that aggressive in the past with Ocon, who was like his teammate at Racing Point. But this time the one
And with the better machinery, he has a
Yeah.
little bit more aggressive nature has come in.
Yeah.
At least like it looks like it on track this time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, but the unfortunate part is that like you can still see on those lap ones, there have been many times where Max has just fucked up the start, and you saw it again. Like you saw Sainz pushing him across and all that, and Max has sort of nowhere to go. And if it was any other driver, Checo would have passed him already and been in second
Yeah.
place. But Checo has to be, अरे बेटा,
Yeah.
बाबा को संभालना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, okay बाबा आप जाओ आउटसाइड पे, मैं लेफ्ट से, अच्छा मेरा विंग छोड़ दिया. Okay ठीक है बाबा, मैं आता हूँ पिट स्टॉप से. He's just like that Ramu Kaka he's become on the first lap for Max Verstappen.
But yeah, he knows how to make the best out of a poor situation.
Yeah,
Yes.
Especially when there's a safety car on the line or something like that. Yeah, you can always count on Checo for a good result. Yeah.
Great race, and of course have to talk about Lewis. The pace he showed throughout the weekend,
Astonishing.
I think, was
Yeah.
fabulous. I felt very sad that he was not allowed to keep the third place, and similarly, I mean, obviously you can understand why in the rules that there was no actual way of classifying the cars, but it felt unfair. I think that there were 3 drivers. I think Lewis, Max, and Latifi, all 3 had monster starts.
Yeah.
But obviously didn't get to keep their positions. But let's talk about for Lewis, and then I think we'll talk about his race, and then let's get into that start overall.
Yeah.
Because my God, and then the end. Oh.
But yeah, Lewis's race was spectacular. Again, sort of rewatching it today, his tire I mean, of course, everything that happened from lap 44 onwards, I think lap 44, 45, 46 are among the most thrilling laps of, I mean, I'm more of a noob than you guys, but among just the most thrilling laps of racing I have seen in my entire life. Again, this bit
for
rate thing is
sure.
happening, box.
It's okay. Don't worry,
It'll just-
guys. होते ही रहेगा.
होते
It's
ही
okay.
रहेगा guys, होते ही रहेगा. मतलब कुछ choice और option ही नहीं है. Should I increase my bit rate?
No, that will actually you could try increasing the bit rate.
It's saying it's not receiving enough video.
So that would suggest that OBS is not sending enough data. So try make it 3,500. Dekhte hain. But
There was a point where I actually thought he could win. Like I was,
oh yeah.
Like, I was like,
If they had
totally
not
like,
fucked his,
oh my
if they had not
God,
fucked his
yeah.
pit stop, they'd given a 2.5 second pit stop. He was
Yeah.
up in there because he comes out, gets his 2 warm-up laps, and then he's
Yeah.
straight on the charge. He's getting DRS, and he had what 6-7 lap fresher tires than
Yeah.
Leclerc, who had 6 lap fresher tires than Sainz. So it was unfortunate.
He really that tire management on point, and also I feel like the wheel-to-wheel racing in those
Yeah.
laps,
Oh,
you
man.
know, was. I mean, he showed a lot of aggression, but also like knew where the car was, knew where the others were at all time. Through goes Hamilton will now be like
forever.
an iconic,
Iconic
line and an iconic
Iconic
overtake also. Like,
Yeah.
like fantastic. Like our exit of the last corner,
Just
fantastic.
beautiful.
Like
Beautiful.
I mean. So I also I think it was a great race for him in front of the home crowd, even if he didn't win the race. Like
Oh, absolutely.
it was like a very his dad and his brother were there, and the whole sort of Hamilton coterie also seemed very proud, and I think it was a good race for
man
the
put on a
season.
show. Man put on a show. Like whatever else has happened at the start of this thing, you watch that and you're like, that is Lewis Hamilton.
That guy knows how to drive.
The definitive driver of my time. Like that guy.
And now he's
knows.
learned how to take cops also properly. So what a great race! Because if you saw Leclerc left him way less space than Verstappen left him last year, but Leclerc on track. So
Oh my god!
But what an overtake by Leclerc! Oh my goodness!
Too good.
Oh,
Too
dude.
good.
Just.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that was just which then I guess now just let's get into it while we're here before we go back to that start. Just the end of this race in general, man.
But
Like-
fab.
like-
Like just insane.
Like even
I think
before
we have
through goes
Esteban
Hamilton, right?
Ocon.
Just-
We have Esteban Ocon to thank for this.
Oh, of course we do.
All
course we
these
do.
late safety cars. We've had a few this season where
Yeah.
it makes it a 10-lap sprint at the end. Whoever has made that late safety car should just get a point.
Yes.
Let's just give Esteban Ocon
yes.
a point.
Yes, there should be a separate
Great.
column called fun points.
Fun point.
Fun
you made
points.
it fun.
Yeah, you
Driver
call
of the
it
day.
Fun points.
DNF of the day. ऐसा ही होना चाहिए.
Deus Ex Machina of the day.
yeah. Just take a point.
Disruptor of the day. Disruptor of the day.
Disruptor of the day. Innovator of the day.
Wall finder of the day.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why that last 10 laps, I mean, whenever we've had this last safety car, somehow we have to orchestrate a Deus Ex Machina situation, which tends to be Nicholas Latifi. Let's be honest.
Deus Ex Latifi.
This time, Deus Ex Latifi. this time it's, of course, Esteban Ocon, but, we'll take it. Yeah.
Oh no, and then it's just at one point the commentators are not able to keep track of what is happening, alright? Because it's it becomes like this feeling frenzy, alright? Because there's Leclerc, there's Perez, there's Hamilton, and then at one point they're like,
Then
of course it's
Alonso.
Alonso. Then Norris also is like, no, I also want to enjoy this enjoyment, and everyone's just going for it. Like,
Dude,
just-
Alonso, did you hear what he said after the race? Okay, he was so saucy after the race. He was like, he got that 5-second penalty for weaving in Canada.
Yeah.
And he was so close to Lewis and Leclerc, and he was like, I saw Leclerc weaving like 3 times on the last lap. They should get a penalty. Therefore, I should be P4 or P3. So this is his post-race interview. And that given the slightest opportunity, Alonso would have been there to take that podium or whatever.
Yeah, Lloyd in the chat has said, he's right. It was a podium hunt train till Norris. They were all
Only,
like in this,
amazing.
like, the world's greatest DRS train, like literally.
Yeah.
It was
And for
absurd.
especially, the world's greatest DRS train without DRS for those
Yes.
first 3 laps.
No,
That was the beauty of it.
Yes.
Where just that moment where on the restart you're seeing, okay, shit, Checo has gone down the outside and then switched back to the inside of Hamilton. You're seeing that.
Yeah.
Then you're
Yeah.
like, Leclerc has gone off track.
Yes. Yes.
And they're
Yes.
going together. What madness that was. Unbelievable.
That's right.
And that's what you want to see, man. That's like two teammates diving in on each
Yes.
other, leaving each other enough space, enough respect for it. And I think it was very foolish of Ferrari to be like, Acha Sainz, so you have soft tire, you just drive slowly. And,
Dude,
you're
like that
mad
10
or what?
Garlands thing, first I heard it and I'm like, one sec, what? I started counting and I'm like, huh?
No, 10 Carlins
how?
is the max also that's permitted.
No,
behind
I
the scenes.
understand that, but
Like,
they wanted him to go to that max and I'm
Yeah,
looking at it, I'm
like,
just, and I'm like, one second,
Yeah.
I don't understand F1,
Yeah.
ठीक है, but geometry I understand, ठीक है, like basic मेरे को geometry थोड़ा centimeter meter पता है, ठीक है, and I'm like, what are they asking? Like, are they just pulling things out of a hat? Which like Impractical Jokers का episode चल रहा है फिर, just say a random sentence and see how he reacts. And even Sainz, he couldn't like even contain his disdain like over there where he's just like,
Yeah.
what
Stop
are
inventing.
you saying? Like, stop
Yeah.
inventing. Like, really, what are you saying, guys?
Yeah, and he was just literally like, please guys, I have to drive a race. I am a race driver. I have to win.
Yeah. It's like, you know, when your kids call you and you're like halfway something, it's like, look, not right now. Alright,
Yeah.
daddy is at office and he cannot deal with this. We will talk after the race. Like, just
Very, very stupid. But and then finally the finger wagging from Matteo
Yes,
Binotto at the
yes.
end, saying ऐसा public में नहीं रोने का,
like,
अंदर आके रोने का, please.
that's what was the sad thing about this thing, right? Like the image, the overall, and again could be reading into like body language too much, etc. Like this win has happened for you. This is a not historic day for you or anything like that. And the overall images and the body language is like not great.
Yeah.
Like in that sort of pit and among the crew and sort of all of that. So they've obviously got like huge.
But a very popular race winner.
Oh,
I
100%.
think,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
100%.
anybody
No,
is like denying
no.
Carlos.
Not at all.
this,
Not at all.
He deserves it. And I mean, he's been there or thereabouts ever since he came into F1. It's just that he came in and his teammate fucking Max Verstappen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be tough for anyone.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, like, good job, Carlos Sainz. 150th race or whatever. Let it not hold you back. And let's see, maybe like there's a second wind or something like that comes into Carlos that we'll see in the rest of the season.
But do you feel like this is going to cause more drama at Ferrari now between the two?
Oh,
of them?
100%.
100%. Like,
Totally.
like the Drive to Survive episode is going to be like tomorrow. Like,
No, but I feel like now, even moving forward, I feel like it's going to be harder to get like Sainz to be the pushover and be I'll move
it's
over.
all fun and games until suddenly your second guy also like stakes a claim, no? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
fun
also
and
like
games.
right now, Perez also very close to Verstappen for the
Exactly,
title.
yeah.
One
Yeah.
more piece of debris in
yeah?
the floor and then
Yeah.
suddenly
That's it.
and it's bloody Alpha Tauri only leaving debris. That's the best part.
Carlos Sainz's win, makes him out of 20 drivers the 11th driver on the grid with a race win.
Wow.
They are, this is the caliber of drivers that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's top to bottom. It's a stacked field. We have precious few Latifis that we can talk about and things like that. And whenever they happen, it's great and everything. But the rest of the field, sure, Yuki Tsunoda is also there for comedic effect. And that synchronized swimming of the...
Oh my
goodness,
that was
beautiful.
Hilarious.
That was
a funny aside. A funny aside to
and
the whole
5-second penalty
Yeah.
for taking out his own teammate
Own
while spinning
teammate,
out.
yeah.
Beautiful.
So you have that kind of stuff, but then the rest of the field is fucking stacked, dude.
Like, guys, everybody makes fun of liked by Gasly, but this is what happens when you're liked by Tsunoda. Right?
yeah.
This is what happens when Tsunoda. This is how Tsunoda shows he likes you. Alright, so since you've mentioned 11 race winners, and among them, and this is where we have to talk about it, alright? And we keep coming back to him, and I know it just feels like we like to beat on him or whatever. But in a race where only 14 cars finish, Danny Rick has no points.
Yes.
Okay, now one second. That is an issue, alright? in a race where only 14 cars finish. Alright, he doesn't, like, this man does not belong down there, like, with, yeah, okay, there we go, right? Doesn't belong down there with Stroll and, like, the likes with the greatest respect.
Gosh.
Not.
He is just not able to get to grips with this car. There's something or the other. Like I saw some of his post-race debriefs and interviews and stuff, and it's very generic. Like sort of like, oh yeah, the balance was off. But I guess they say the balance is off. Now that means that this is the most generic freaking driver feedback that you're getting. You know, and it just he's lacking the confidence in the car. He mentioned a lack of grip at the rear end from the first go itself. Maybe like he was involved also slightly in that first. Sort of he just about managed to sort of break away.
Did he start on hards?
I think he started on the wrong tires, or maybe I mean
mediums
or whatever. Like I mean, that guy is just not being able to cope. And as much as I love him and McLaren and everything, you have to begin to question. Like, I mean, I mean, the occasional good result is cool and everything, but gosh.
No. And especially like Abdullah Sheikh said in the chat, Norris driving the same car like Ghar Ki Wagon-R.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Then how do you...
Just,
that's the most accurate statement I've seen.
Yeah, it's just कि ऐसा Ricciardo का Wagon-R में किसी ने CNG लगा दिया without telling him. It's just that.
Yeah, really. You know, like I mean, he's just not able to get to grips with the second season of the team, and Lando seems to be on a different plane. Like he had that COVID low period or whatever, but he's come back really just as strong as he was. He was thriving in the British Grand Prix atmosphere. It was very like good to see him also. He's such a celebrity. They were like football chanting his name and all in the stands and everything. So I mean, Danny Rick, gosh, where has that promise gone?
Just absolutely not happening. And I don't know, it just seems to be a pattern now. Everywhere he goes, we've seen it happen with Renault, where like, okay, next big thing, this is what's gonna happen. And Renault, he was still like the number one driver there, right? Like they were making the car for him. And he was sort of starting to get the results also towards the end of that season. He did go, he got the podium, he got the fucking tattoo, all of that. Rather got him to get a tattoo. And now I think next season Drive to Survive you'll see one of something on Zach Brown's thigh or calf also. And then he's off to Aston Martin, you know.
Something.
What if deep down he's just a tattoo collector, like just a really
just a niche guy who goes to exclusively for F1 team principles and gets them embarrassing tattoos.
That's it. Abhinav Mittal says you could say that he's lost his drive to survive.
I mean, I think, you know, given also, I still have like a soft spot for Danny Rick. I think we all do, just because he's such an affable guy. He wore a fucking Pantera t-shirt to the Canadian Grand Prix, which earned him another 15 brownie points in my mind already, because like he's a heavy metal fan also. So I'm like, come on, yaar, like kuch to hai tere mein, 7 Grand Prix wins, all of this, last of the late breakers. But it's just not happening. Maybe post the summer break again, he goes, does ayahuasca or something. I don't know, like whatever. Like get your freaking head in order and come back. Gosh.
Fair.
Should we talk about the start of the race? We've talked about everything else and the end.
Yes.
Should we talk about lap 1?
Yeah, like Azeem was saying, right? Where first there was that disbelief. Same way, the thing is, because I was so focused on watching the front of the field, I didn't see it when it first happened. And I was watching with a friend. I was watching with a friend. He was like, bro, that car was upside down. That's all my friend said. And I said, shut up, what are you saying? And then they did show. They did show it on you. And I'm like,
what's going on?
It was the same with
That's always a bad sign.
It was so. I was watching the race start, and Sana was sitting next to me, and she was like, she comes for the start and watches with sort of as a mild interest key sometimes. And I was like, of all starts, you are not interested in this start.
This one,
And I am shouting, saying, "Arey, car was upside down," and she's like, "No, yeah, don't be stupid, cars." And she's not even seen. Why? What is this gaslighting? But it was very bad.
I think that those 20 minutes was really like scary. Where I was like, okay, now this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like looking really. I even was checking on Twitter, like anyone from the grandstand is posting footage because I was like, what happened? Because I also missed it like you, Rohan, and I was like, what happened? I don't like it. Like that was so bad because all we saw was Russell, and that's it. Like there was nothing else they showed on in like whenever they were repeating stuff.
Yeah, and
No, I
just the
mean,
way
it's
that
scary.
so basically again, I think what happened was that both the cars I think were on the hards who had a very
Yeah.
bad start.
Yeah.
George definitely was on the hards. I'm not sure about Joe, but he just had a bad start. And then Latifi was like, "Hello, I am Latifi. I am Gotifi. I am soft tires. I am see you bye," and just went straight through into I think sixth place he was. So he was having the time of his life. And then Gasly is like, "Okay, same gap. I also
Yeah.
want to be Latifi, but." I think Russell. It was
I
a
think
pure
he got
racing
Yeah,
Gasly
yeah.
got squeezed a little
Yeah,
bit
he did,
in the
he
middle
did.
there.
He
Yeah,
did.
Gasly
I mean,
got
it was the
squeezed a bit.
mildest thing, and he backed out as
yeah.
well. Like he was like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
the
It
gap was there, it's not there, I can't do
It was
anything.
just physics hard at work, like just
Yeah.
like extreme speed physics hard at everything with little nudges that resulted
Yeah.
in
It was
spectacular
every race
results.
start in a online lobby in
Crazy.
F1 21 or 22. It was just,
Yeah.
"Arey,
At the
chaar
first
log-
breaking
arey,
point."
mera
At
gaadi
the
upside
first
down. This is
breaking
legit
point.
what happens. Every race in Baku, there is one car upside down.
Yeah.
There is a car going on the wall like this by the end of it.
Oh my
Man, like,
God.
I mean, the visuals of the
Yeah.
whole thing, once they
Just-
started showing it, that kind of stuff we've all assumed is of a bygone era in F1. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we all like when we see that kind of shit. That's why also when like Grosjean's car went up in flames like that, we don't
Yeah.
see like those
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah,
fires.
you don't see that.
You don't see freaking cars somersaulting like that and almost going on to spectators. Holy smokes!
yeah.
Just imagine like if that catch fencing was like a little bit lower or
Yeah.
whatever. Like
Oh,
you
that
know,
would
I
have
mean,
been,
you even
yeah.
Did you guys see the video from the stands that someone
Yeah,
had
yeah.
posted?
Yeah,
That
fully.
was so scary. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Mars.
Oh,
Hello.
hello. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Like, yeah, we haven't talked about Hamilton enough. yeah.
He's like, don't go off topic.
yeah. Come back and talk about Hamilton, please.
No, but that
video
crash
for me
and-
was crazy. It was like almost like the car was like literally going to fall on these people. Like if I was sitting there, I'd be like, shit, this is scary. Like
Yeah, and the reason it took that much time is because he was just wedged there, like the
Yeah.
car is
Yeah,
suspended in
like
the air.
Worst
So like
place
even if
possible.
he's like, let me take the seatbelt off and get out, there is no guarantee that he'll get out and the car won't bloody fall
Correct.
on him.
Yeah.
So it
Did
was
you guys see
so
the
difficult to get that out.
The Formula 2, I mean, we talk about
Yes.
Jihan, who had a forgettable weekend, but on the sprint
Sausage
race
cup.
Yeah, sausage cup.
Saturday, Roy Nissany had a near like escape because of the halo when Dennis Hauger's car.
Yeah.
In fact, Jihan's teammate went over the sausage curb and just like torpedoed in front. I mean, I mean, those kind of things. Again, just brought this whole blockbuster spectacle to this weekend somehow, like these near-death misses and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
could kind of do without a 180 heart rate.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's these innocuous things that the sausage curbs actually tend to create because of
Create,
how
yeah.
low these cars are. It's
Yeah.
also at the downforce. That's how high they tend to get launched.
My
And we've
God.
seen this not just this time. We've seen, for instance, Abby Eaton in the Formula W. She
Yes.
broke her spine landing
Yeah.
off. Like she was out not racing for 6-7 months. There was another driver in F3, if I'm not wrong, last year, who also landed from the sausage curb, shattered spine. So there has to be a better solution than this. I'm sure this is something that they'll work on for sure next season.
But my gosh, thank God for this halo, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It is
Right.
like, 10 points to Gryffindor for the person who invented it, right? Like,
And for everybody that held their ground with all the opposition and just went,
Yeah.
we have to do this.
I mean,
Gosh.
now when it's saved so many lives, you're like, shit, like
Yeah.
you can't believe that people would actually say no to this. Like,
Right?
Yeah.
Which is why when you see like some of that older footage, like if I'll go back and I'll like watch like an on whatever 1975 or whatever, they don't have a bloody halo, they don't have nothing, their heads
Nothing.
are outside of the car, like
Yeah,
their shoulders are like outside,
Yeah.
like this and everything, and it's just like, holy smokes, you guys were like on some other joint, like as in.
As Utkarsh has pointed out in the super chat, Perez also got saved from Leclerc's front wing. Like it clipped the halo and went.
Fully.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
It clipped the halo.
It's
and
crazy.
went.
But let us have a moment for George Russell, who, in being good Samaritan, guys, red flag, going running, comes back. Arey, mera gaadi tow ho gaya. You know, most Bombay thing to happen possible.
Yeah.
And then he's saying, ki, Arey, I went to help.
No, I'm
There's
still with the
nothing.
tinfoil conspiracy theorist who's like, he thought it was Bottas. And he was running
he went
over.
to Tapli.
Tapli, I am with those conspiracy theories. I stand with that theory. Yeah.
Gosh, how much does everybody love George Russell, right? Like, I mean, what a good guy. And, you know, even though he's been having such a great run and everything, I'm pretty sure, like, if he doesn't do something like this, he'll probably finish the race in Austria. If there's a podium opportunity, get onto the podium and, you know, just be a good boy also while he's doing it.
And this isn't the first time he's done this, right? Like there was someone else also who posted on Twitter, another driver saying in F2 he did the same thing. Yeah, in karting. Yeah.
F1 ka Sonu Sood. That's what we're going.
F1 ka Sonu Sood.
Just the guy who's always there when shit goes down.
What do you want?
Yeah, but like, I mean, thank God, Joe is okay. Albon also, Alex also okay after 2 big hits. And yeah, I mean, the safety features in the vehicle seem to be working, but you know, it's so unpredictable. Even though,
but
like,
it just goes to show that at the end of the day, this is a sport that is a bunch of very fragile humans strapped into extremely powerful, dangerous machines that go very, very fast. And when we say the finest of margins, yes, we're not always just talking about points and space and all of that. You're talking about literally a millimeter here and a millimeter there, like resulting in launching people into the air at speeds that you cannot even, I cannot even imagine what it must have been like to, you're this driver, you're in a car, you're upright. The next thing you know, it is 4 seconds later, you have come to a standstill, you are wedged between a wall. I cannot even begin to imagine like the sheer crisis of that in any way, shape or form. And the fact that somehow by the end of the broadcast we're getting live images of this guy standing around and talking to people.
Yeah.
Right? It's brain breaking.
Yeah, and also let's have not forget Albon, who also went through nicely punted into the wall by Seb, and then recovering gets hit by one car here, one car there. I mean, that's like the amount of G's going through over there and the impact and whiplash. It's, I think they've said that his injury is actually a bit more serious.
But he actually refused medical help, saying help him first because he looked worse off according to him.
Such good.
Also, did you see his helmet? The one with all his cats,
dogs on it.
All his pets. I think 9 pets on it, and that was his message from the hospital as well, saying that me and all the pets are fine.
I mean, we were talking about this a few weekends ago when there was that controversy about driver pay. And, you know, they were talking about like the budget cap to have driver pay considered within the budget cap. And Max Verstappen actually was more vocal about it as well. And was like, man, we're putting our lives on the line. Okay, you sit here and take these G4s. Like, if you want this or whatever, get to this level first of all. My God, they're at such a high level when it comes to racing. And then, like, put your life on the line like this weekend after weekend for entertainment. You know, I want to get, I want to get paid. And like, and it seems more and more we're seeing it right now. Maybe because the cars are so fast or there's so much. There seems to be a lot more on the line or whatever there is. Like, I mean, just something is like, you know, you're seeing these situations a little bit more. I don't know, like, yes, it's a thing, but like, pay them whatever they need to get paid, guys. Except Latifi and Stroll, they have it.
Pay yourselves whatever you need to get paid, guys.
Exactly, Also, just want to read for no reason at all Nilay Nahar in the chat who said Scuderia Ferrari.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Scuderia Ferrari. Pritam says, Arjun, हम McLaren fans के अच्छे दिन कब आएंगे? क्या पता?
कब आएंगे यार? Shit, Pritam, मैं क्या बोलूँ तेरे को यार? I thought, and Lando is doing so well. I mean, even I have good hopes for him in Austria, Pritam, because that's where he had his first podium and everything in that very um, crazy 2020 race and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe he will have a better time of it. But Danny Rick, I don't think he's going to solve it in 1 week.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And again, I think the McLaren may struggle a little bit on this track because so they'll do well in the sector 2, but sector 1 where it's slow corners and like slow entry, slow exit,
straight line speed, the straight line speed is just not there. Yeah.
I think Mercedes will do very well in those corners because they've been very good in the slow corners so far. Like even in the, if you saw in the where you get to overhear their conversations, like Checo was like, "You guys are mad fast in the slow corners."
Yeah.
I think watch out for Mercedes in the turns 1, 2, 3 for sure. Well, 1, 2, 4 technically. 1 is a kink.
On that note, should we get Mr. Bhat on?
Oh yes,
we should.
To give us some crunchy data. Mr. Aditya Bhat, would you please join us for some crunchy?
Hello.
Hello.
Podcast
crunch.
How are we?
Very well. Yes. How are we?
Good.
Any resumes today for us?
Did you have COVID as well?
I have triple checked all tabs closed.
Oh, do you have crunchy data from the crunchy British Grand Prix? Did you enjoy this race weekend?
There is, of course, and I just caught what you guys were saying about the Halo. 100% agree. It was
you posted a fab reel on the Halo. I saw that.
It was Charlie Whiting. It was it was John Todd backing him as FIA president. Everyone that was also thing is like cost like $20,000.
Yeah.
And they're like, you have to pay for it. All teams have to pay for it. And then they don't let you design it. They'll say we have manufacturers and they'll do it. And then you have to do the load testing yourself. So you have to order more and break them. Right. And then Sebastian Vettel is going out testing the car and saying, I can't see anything. Imagine an F1 driver saying, I can't see, but then you still enforce it.
I mean, there were largely just the two ways of implementing it. No? There was how it's done in F1 with the Halo, and then how they've done it in Daytona with like the closed. IndyCar. In the closed cockpit.
Yeah. Ferrari versus Ferrari.
Ferrari versus Ferrari.
Story of the race.
Ah, man.
Ferrari versus Ferrari drivers.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna just talk you guys through the initial, lap 30 parts where we were making decisions for the drivers and no judgment. Let's just look at the numbers and see what was going on. You see, that was a radio call. It said target time is 32.2, otherwise we will swap. And this was going on from lap 25 after they both were on hard tires, right? And my question is, what is this arbitrary 32.2, the number? Let's say Hamilton was doing 32.2, but you see Leclerc is doing 32.0. Like the guy behind you in dirty air with damage is doing 32.0, but still the target is 32.2 and Sainz is half a second off that for multiple laps. I think it started here 27, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30 is when they were like, no, it's high time. And I think even this was quite a bit, but I was almost screaming like, just let him go. He's your driver. And it's like, obviously at the end, you guys I think spoke about it, Sainz did what he had to do to get his win, and that's completely fair. But he was being beaten repeatedly. You lose it off the line, you then lose it to Max. Charles comes back, he's not doing the lap times. I think lap 20. This is the fourth instance, and then lap 30 they were like, it's time, you have to do it. And Charles in the car was like 32.2 is not enough because Hamilton's coming, and Hamilton was coming insanely. Like Hamilton was matching that target with old tires, 32.265, and Charles is still faster, and Sainz is still nowhere close to 32.2. I think this was lap 30.
They say your home crowd gives you 3 times as well, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. Yeah. Gosh, yeah. I mean, Hamilton looked on point and so threatening, which is why also every time Ferrari's in this situation where they're getting threatened, right? They just bumble a little
They
bit.
panic
And
a little,
that's,
no?
yeah, that
Fully.
bumbling is very clunky to watch. It's like you're shouting at the TV,
Yeah.
like, come on, yaar.
Yeah.
Just fucking swap
Every
it right
Ferrari
now.
pit window is every Manchester United transfer window. It's just what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
क्या कर रहे हैं तुम लोग? It's just that.
Like, come on, yaar. Like, everybody can see it. How can you educated Formula One folks not see it? Like,
Did anyone catch it when Karun Chandok was on the Skypad and he was showing like where he can pause it and like draw marks and everything, and he shows that safety cars out, the cars are literally 10 kph, and he marks like they could have told him here, they could have told him here. Where they could have brought Leclerc in. Like you have 15 to 20 seconds to make that decision, and if F1 strategy is your entire job and there are multiple of you sitting back home, etc. That's like you give me an entire day and say, can you, and at the end of the day I said no, wrong decision. It's almost
Ferrari hire Aditya Bhat.
Yes,
Okay,
right now.
Watch the episode five episodes ago where you can see his CV also on the stream.
Yeah.
And you get to know who he is.
Yes.
And please hire him. Dude
Bring the
knows
CV
what
back.
he's talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy. And I think after a point, Leclerc is just going to be like, कि guys, तुम लोग देख लो, मैं आ रहा है. तुम लोग को भेजना है ड्राइवर तो भेजो. I mean, भेजना है मैकेनिक तो भेजो. नहीं तो मैं ड्राइव थ्रू पेनल्टी के लिए आएगा. But
again is the thing of letting your drivers make the decision and them being right. Like you make the drivers make their decision. If they're wrong, at least they'll listen to you. But then
Correct.
if you're always the drivers being right and they stop believing you more and more.
Yeah, fair.
First part of all this. So anyway, and again this as well, like when at the safety car restart when Leclerc's on hards and they're like now protect him. So
Yeah.
it's like he screwed you over. Now
Yeah.
now like he'll save him now.
Yeah. This message will self-destruct in 10 seconds.
Yeah, really. It's like, huh.
Your earphones are going to explode.
Like imagine an F1 driver, the thing you hear from your cockpit is basically तू मतलब बाहर जा और कुछ कर, ठीक है? कुछ संभाल.
Yeah.
तू देख ले.
Sainz's voice, it was like I knew you were going to ask me this.
Yeah.
Some fuck shit that we never talked about. You're going to ask me this random thing to do right now.
And Carlin. If anything, it was like Leclerc saved the 1-4. Otherwise, it would have been 3-4.
Yeah, probably.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Carlos had gotten past and everybody else had gotten past quicker, if Carlos would still be catchable with the limited number of laps to go, I don't know. But yeah, it could have been way worse, and it was just about like Leclerc driving his ass off to save that strategy.
You see, Leclerc is like 2 seconds off compared to everyone else. And I think at one point I saw Perez was, I think on one lap he was 3.5 behind, and suddenly he was like 2.2 behind, and then it again went back. But that is after fighting with all these like Hamilton and Perez.
Yeah.
If it had just been in clear air, I would have said it was Perez, Hamilton, Sainz, Leclerc.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I still feel like Sainz was just so determined today. Like, and knowing that it was Perez and not Max, maybe it would have been saucy at the end. But it could have been way worse. And Leclerc honestly deserves a lot for saving that fourth position. Otherwise, he could have been swallowed up entirely. Alonso was just like licking his lips, just waiting there.
I was just hoping Alonso could put one dive. Like
one dive. Just one dive. Yes, put it in there. He was so chalu on the thing also. On the Alonso on the pits, because Norris went in, to pit, and Alonso had like a very small gap. And just like, because you have to maintain a certain speed behind when the safety car is out and everything, while Norris was in the pit, he was at the threshold of where he needed to be in terms of the time, and literally got in front of Norris before Norris could come out. And like, just again, 1000 IQ to Alonso all the time.
You let him dive, give him one dive, he'll make it 4 dives. And this last thing I heard about Mick Schumacher.
Gosh.
You know, it was more experience. This is the last lap. I'll tell you in a second. But what the experience I'm talking about is, you know, he has fought Verstappen before, but Verstappen put everything on him this race, and just getting to experience that, even if he like didn't get the overtake, just that experience helps a lot when you're next time you're fighting the Zoos and the Strolls of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is.
I mean, Max left it in. He was like, "Man, now it's up to you whether we both come out of this corner or
Exactly.
both of us come out."
Yeah.
And he said it. And he said on TV, this is that Schumacher Senna kind of shit.
Yeah, fully.
I'll put it there.
You decide now who comes out of this.
Yeah.
And that
also,
was,
I think Mick was so desperate for his points that that was a big factor to that we don't want to both be taken out of this race and not get points again.
Though, I mean, I think that was great, and I think it was pushed on by his team. Once he passed Vettel, they actually told him, "Let's go get him."
Yeah.
To Verstappen, to Mick to catch Verstappen, and I was like, "Holy smokes! You have 2 points already. Just take this, it's like, I mean,
just lie low and
Mick,
just
stop flying so close to the sun, Mick.
Just chill out. You got this. Seb is not going to overtake you. No chance.
Oh, no. Seb was that meme of that guy holding everybody back for you now.
Yeah. Seb, and you're like, take on Max Verstappen. I mean, hats off to the Haas guys to even send this kid, into the lion's den like that. And I mean, like Aditya was mentioning, he will learn from this. I mean, his wheel-to-wheel stuff, I would imagine, will become a lot more educated going forward.
We just spoke about Max putting you in that situation and letting you make that decision.
Yeah.
This is last lap, last corner, Mick making that decision.
Yeah.
On the brakes, the lift off. This is the last corner, and he's like, "Okay, sorry, I won't do this."
Sorry, very quickly, some super chats before we go ahead.
That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, then that's it. Lion Rovic said, "Thank you for the super chat just for Aditya Broski. Why don't we have Niharika on board as well?" Maybe we will at some point. Aditya, thank you. That was amazing. As always, we learned a lot, much like Mick Schumacher.
Yes. Ferrari, hire this dude.
Yeah, Ferrari.
Do it.
Ferrari.
And learn Italian.
These noobs.
Yeah,
you can learn Italian. Yeah.
Basically, I'm a Ferrari.
The thing is, right, they'll hire
Bhatia
him.
Benotto, that's what we need.
They'll hire him, but 3 weeks after the season ends.
Yeah. तू सिमुलेशन का स्ट्रेटजी कर ले हाइलाइट्स देख के बोल
Can you change the highlights for us? It's going to be your aim.
I think that'd be a pretty good job to have, right? We have every Wednesday, right? Aditya could just watch from Sunday evening to Tuesday night. All Aditya has to do is he has to watch the race, but it's only Ferrari on board. So by Tuesday night, he's like furious, all right? And first thing Wednesday morning, before they get into working on this week's race, Aditya just goes in and shouts at everybody for about 30 minutes. Like just yells at them and just tells them they're stupid and tells them they're idiots and then tells them he'll be back next Wednesday and leaves. I personally think there's a good job there. But what do I know?
We didn't go through our predictions.
I was just opening that only, and how we have bottled predictions. My God.
Oh God, yeah, we really screwed up the predictions. That's why I didn't even go over there.
No, we must accept our faults also.
Okay, fair.
Predictions are
because we are
Arjun
not
Ravi.
Nelson Piquet.
Yes. Oh, they are faultitos. Anyway, quali prediction from Arjun Ravi said Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso. So he was only Verstappen was in the top 3, so that
Great
didn't work.
game of fuck, marry, kill.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because it was those tricky conditions. I was like Alonso in with the shout, and also I think Verstappen, if it hadn't been for Leclerc's spin at the end, may actually have been P1. Like, I mean, he got caught out in that
because the yellow flag,
yellow flag in Q3.
Yeah.
Alonso,
so for race, you said Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, but Sidepod, well done. Russell's first DNF.
Oh,
Nice.
Very nice.
You got two right, yeah?
Yeah.
Well played.
Not bad.
Mera to very bad. So Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton for quali. Leclerc, Verstappen, Norris for race.
Leclerc, Verstappen, Norris for race.
Not even one of the 3.
Okay.
And my side pot was 3 British drivers in top 5, which
did not happen.
There were only 3 British drivers and 1 DNF, so that was not going to happen.
Yeah. No, there are 4 British drivers.
Who's the 4th?
Albon.
Albon is, I mean, technically Thai, but.
Acha, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, if he had come 5th, I would have counted him, but
Counted him, yeah.
Wow. You're doing the same thing that they do with Andy Murray.
You would have counted. You would have counted him. You would have thrown a celebration in Bandra.
Of course.
Alex Albon finished 5th,
if Williams finishes 5th, there's party at my place, guys. I'm telling you now.
Yeah. Like mithai on 21st Road or whatever.
Oh, full on. Bandra will be lit up like it's Baba Siddiqui's birthday all over again.
Yeah.
For that.
Sherry Shroff said Leclerc, Lewis, and Sainz. So actually, Sherry is the only person who put Sainz in the top 3 for quali. Race was then Lewis, Leclerc, and Russell, and her sideboard, of course, was Bull's DNF, which you tried.
You tried.
See, if you had not given this prediction, Hamilton would have won.
Yeah.
See, all you have to do is stop cursing the Red Bulls, and then Hamilton will win.
Basically, shubh bolo, beta.
I wasn't cursing anyone. I just thought that there'd be issues, which there were. I mean, no.
Fair. But then who Red Bull only came and finished above your Hamilton. So then what?
Yeah. But I mean, you know what I mean when I say Bulls.
Arjun, mom and dad are fighting again.
Okay, and Rohan Joshi said Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz for quali. So actually the closest out of everyone.
Yeah. Just in a weird order.
Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton. Also not bad for race.
Hey, not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah.
I got the wrong bull. That's about it.
Yeah.
And in his wild prediction did not come true with one more video of Nelson Piquet emerging on the internet. So
I really thought that by the time the race happened, there would be at least one more video.
One more video.
Of Nelson Piquet. But you know what? All in all, I think the world is a better place than that prediction did not come true. So it's fine.
But yeah, the week coming up, this race weekend, of course, starts getting interesting on Friday itself. We have quali on Friday. We have then FP1 and quali on Friday. We have FP2 and sprint on Saturday, and then we have race on Sunday. So exciting extra actions for everybody.
Thrills.
And Austria pe sprint race where every corner is overtaking zone. So best.
So mazdar.
Again, 3 DRS zones. They're like throwing everywhere. There's like a 100-meter straight also. It's like DRS laga do in Austria, that kind of place. Amazing. I have an interesting story on the Austrian Grand Prix. You guys want to hear it or what?
Yes.
And maybe next time when we do our race review, we'll...
That is also good.
Okay, before so we can end on a high note, I will just finish the last super chat, which is my 2 cents saying Ferrari needs to make Charles number 1 period as the championship is gone. On that note, Arjun, take it away for your story.
Hey, wait, you missed one where somebody gave some 1800 rupees?
I said no. Lion Drop,
you did?
thank you.
Okay,
Yeah. For Aditya
okay,
Broski, and why not have Niharika on as
Wow, thank you.
But you know what? For that amount, you can read it out twice. But yes, go ahead.
2017, I attended the Austrian Grand Prix. And or was it 2018? One of those 2 years. I'm sure somebody will fact check me. Daniel Ricciardo was on the podium that day, and he did a shoey, and he drank from his shoey, and Martin Brundle was interviewing him on the radio, and he gave that shoe to Martin Brundle, and while he was leaving the podium, he took out his other shoe and he threw it into the crowd, and I was standing in the crowd, and I just put my hand up like that, and lo and behold, I caught freaking Daniel Ricciardo's shoe. And it's here in the house somewhere. I'll find it maybe next.
Really?
God, no
Really?
freaking way.
That's
It's here in the house.
You're
How do
the
you
one
not
who's
know
been-
where this is?
You're the one who's been poking needles into it. Yes, you're the guy. It's
And
you
it's here, it's
doing the
here
Kala
somewhere.
Jadoo.
I'll find it and
Sherry, for
we'll
some
see
reason,
it
you're
in
not
the-
audible. I don't know why. Everybody's saying you are not audible.
Now, my mic's on, audio's on.
Okay, I don't know, but yes, yeah. People are willing to buy the shoe from you, Arjun.
Let me find it first. It's here somewhere.
If you can quote prices, it would be great, guys, because it would be very nice to.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
on
preferably
social,
sell it
because
while he's
it'll-
still in a
it'll
relevant
really
team.
help with
Well,
our,
it's still relevant.
Yeah.
While
No,
he's
I-
still
We can-
finishing top 12.
Also, we could
We
really
can-
use the money towards getting our Haas sponsorship, I think.
Yes.
Or Danny Rick ads.
Or Danny Rick. No, they can't do that, Aditya. They've got 2 drivers in the points now. They should have paid for Danny Rick.
But that's while you caught Danny's shoe. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's here somewhere. After the race, like people were taking selfies with me, and what like, hey, you're the guy who caught his shoe, right? And they're like, yeah, I'm that
तो
guy.
मेरा एक जूता निकाल के उस पे फेंक.
Yeah. I'll post a photo of it on social media, and then when I have to look in the house, it's there, maybe buried under some caps or whatever. But I'll find
Don't
it.
lie. It's exactly. You know exactly where it is. Chandra, you can't show it to us because it's at the altar. The blood sacrifice and all the needles that you poke into it.
With a glass case over it.
Like just don't
I made
know
a
how many
pentagram of candles.
how many slaughtered puppies and kittens lie around that shoe over the last like 5 years.
Oh no, I think he's just been sacrificing caps. Just one more.
Setting caps on fire. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's my
Yeah, I think
MVP
we are
story.
more or less done. Very nice
I think,
story.
yeah, that's
Very
about it.
impressive.
That's a great. It's a great story, man. Well done.
Yes, but also, so I have some fun news for the chat. So of course, so I don't think Arjun is giving away his shoey shoe anytime, but I do have a F122 code which I am giving away to people. So I'll be streaming the game tomorrow or day after. So you can come by and we'll figure out some system through which you can win it. I am open to suggestions. But yes, I have a F122 code. The game is out. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't played it yet, the cars actually handle differently, which is nice.
We tried it in VR.
Somebody in
yeah.
chat, I'm sorry, I'll have to read because somewhere D-Dust in chat has said 0,000 का जूता है लौड़े पूरा घर जाएगा इसमें. But other than that, so far the highest bid is 2,000 rupees. Sorry guys, not good enough. Like just not good enough. So yeah.
Fair enough.
PC code? People are asking, is it a PC code? Is it a?
It is a PC code. Yes,
It is a PC
for
code.
PC.
Okay.
So the one fuck up, and you know that EA had to EA it by making an EA game, is that they released the game separately on Origin, which is EA's platform, and Steam, which is the platform that everyone else uses it, both on PC. And you would assume that since both are on PC, if you have it on Origin or Steam, you would be able to play against people who have it on either, and you would be wrong. So if you bought the game on Origin, you just cannot play against the 90% of the people who have the game. So I bought the game and I was like, because I got it on Origin, I was like, I'm killing it. I'm world top 10 ranked in time trial. How is this possible? I'm murdering all the competition. These cars are made for me. Then I see that there are 50 people total. I'm like, okay. But it is an Origin key, but they are introducing crossplay in the next 2 months. So 2 months later, you'll be able to play online with people. But if you want like just casual, offline, career mode, that kind of stuff, it's great for that. So tomorrow or day after, one or the other, I will be streaming on my
Good to
channel.
know that EA and Ferrari have the same strategy team.
Yes, same.
Very, very good.
Azeem, have you tried it in VR?
I have, but it was a little buggy. It was more of an Oculus problem than a game problem, but it was nice nonetheless. It feels exactly like Assetto Corsa or iRacing in VR. So if you've tried either of those. And what else was there to say?
Do you have any touring this weekend? Does anybody else have any announcements?
Yes, I have touring in Hyderabad and Chennai this weekend. You can check out my Instagram for the details. And London in August. So yes, exciting. And Singapore and Kuala Lumpur and Thailand and Vietnam. All of those in September. So
FIA Azeem, Formula Azeem calendar.
yes.
This is out.
No, yeah,
If you're
but
there in
it's
September,
not
I think-
legitimate because there's no Middle Eastern show.
Okay,
So it
fair,
doesn't
fair,
count as
fair.
modern F1.
Fair.
September, there's a race or Grand Prix is also in September only, right? In Singapore. Have you timed
Yeah,
it?
it is
Yeah,
in
Oh,
have you
September.
tried
I need
this
to
or not?
check
Have you
this.
thought about this or not?
Game. How
I
do
mean,
you know?
what's
How
wrong
is
with
not
you?
the first thing
Singapore
you
Grand Prix.
check? Yeah.
I've already
Always September.
booked my flight tickets.
Yeah.
Oh no, 30th September, too late.
Lion Roviak, again, thank you for the super chat. He says, Arjun is saying 100k for Danny's shoe if he's really considering to sell.
Not
Array.
at all, guys. It's first I have
Sorry.
to find it.
First he has to
Second-
find it, then he has to clean all the blood off it.
Yeah, exactly.
He has to like
All
take the
the-
hex off it. There's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of work involved, guys. Like and super kicks will not. They don't do hexes. I check.
yeah. Also, I mean, still talking about it. Just want to mention there may be something interesting for
Yes.
Bombay peeps that we're
Yes.
doing on
I'm
Sunday.
missing that. Ugh.
Is that happening for sure?
I will confirm.
Let's figure it
but
out and then
if-
just
yeah.
check out. Just
Yeah.
keep a lookout
Check
on
social, keep a
Arjun's and
lookout
our
on
Instagram
social.
stories. And if we can make this happen, it will be very, very cool.
An interesting
Yes.
thing that may be coming on the race weekend. So
Yes. And 442 is coming back day after tomorrow. So,
Woohoo.
yay.
Yay, there we go.
Alright.
Sherry,
Alright.
Aditya, anything to share?
I only have COVID to share right now, which I don't want to
my
share with
goodness.
anyone.
Don't
So
share.
no,
Kicking you off
No.
call at once. Thank you, but
I have got nothing to share.
cool.
But
And
God, thank you. Come again.
I have nothing to share because there is a charity show happening for Cat Cafe in
Oh, yes.
Versova on Friday, but that is already sold out. But if you call the venue and pester them, they might add seats. It's me, Aditi Mittal, Sahil Shah, Neville Shah. So it should be a ton of fun. And if you come, you will help catos and doggos.
Very nice.
And that's always good. So yeah. Every rupee we give to the Cat Cafe is every cat that they save is a cat that Arjun cannot use to sacrifice
Yes.
at the altar of the Danny Ricciardo.
these two that I have in the house are on constant notice. They are,
Yeah, they're like, hey,
Yeah. Like,
if he starts
aaj tera
doing
din
well
ho
all of a
sakta hai.
sudden, if he starts
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
well all of a sudden,
आज तेरा दिन हो सकता है यार.
oh yeah, also Comic Stan will be out on
Oh,
the
yes.
15th of July. And I am on the show as a mentor in an episode, and that is all I can say right now. So that will also be happening. And but I guess we will see you before that, because even if we don't do another preview episode this week, we will be reviewing this weekend's
Oh, yeah, for
race.
sure.
So
Oh.
yeah, and I hope, and because as a thing, it works really well. Clearly, guys, I just want to say that I don't think that this race next week is going to be as exciting or as dramatic as this race or like the last. I'm just
Any
saying.
other race.
Yeah, or any. I think it's just going to be like the most maximum boring.
Yeah, just one DRS train.
That's
Nothing
it.
happening.
Yeah, just that's literally it. That's it. And yeah,
Very nice.
I think that's it, friends. On that note,
All right.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Azeem. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Arjun. And thank you to everybody in chat. You know that this was a successful race and a good race because we have 1,200 people watching throughout. We still only have a shameful 782 likes. So really, guys,
Very
come
bad.
on. Before leaving,
Come on,
ek to
guys.
matlab, smash it. Come on. Smash it and go. On that note, thank you very much for watching. This has been the Sidepod. We will see you next week for the Austrian.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye.